All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier eye hypnosis life healer coach and your personal guide. So now we have definitely reached a very interesting segment of the journey, especially if you've been following along for quite a while. Today, incidentally, is our recorded episode number 499. And so, obviously, when you talk about developing skill, and more importantly, like in today's, the theme for today's pod, which is all about the power of learning, the power of studying. Um, One thing I can definitely tell you is that, um, you know, I guess to put it in the negative way, don't go chasing metrics, meaning a lot of times when, especially as healer coaches, people who are really fired up, really passionate about healing, really dedicated to coaching. And, we are literally living our life's dream, our life's mission, our life's, goal and ambition. Um, on this journey, a lot of times we will get um, uh, advice. We will be told a lot of things. We will be given a lot of, templates and suggestions about what we should do. And for the large part, one thing I can tell you is that, until it works for you, it doesn't. And by that I mean, a lot of times, and I say this, of course, having been a student of digital marketing, of studied, all the different paraphernalia, and as my dear aunt would say, all the trala frala of um, of how to be able to promote your product or your brand over the many years now. I distinctly remember in 2016 being inspired to really study this one aspect of the business that I had, neglected, I had not looked at. And so, what began as a very innocent attempt and a journey has, of course, today, after many years, many twists, many turns, many ups, many downs, many losses, many wins along the way. Today has definitely brought me to a stronger realization that one, as I was telling a friend just the other day, as long as you're intending to be in business, marketing, advertising, promotions, selling, sales, all of these words um, are definitely going to be part of your life. Now, everybody has a very distinct style, a very distinct approach. And the one thing I can tell you is that, be kind to yourself. People may try to fit you into molds, people may try to push you into molds, but eventually, if you're intending to do this, this part of what you do, which is letting people know that you exist, building that awareness, building that uniqueness to you in a way that you are able to sustain it, that is definitely going to take time. And I say this also because if you happen to be in that 1% where maybe until yesterday or a week ago, maybe a month or maybe even a year ago for that matter, maybe you were doing something completely different. Maybe you were employed in a job and then you decided to, in that moment of inspiration, to become a coach, become a healer. And on this path, you've been blessed by the gods, as they say. And, you were able to find your marketing avatar, which the market, acknowledges. And you're off to the races, as they say, and you're building your business. If that's the case, then obviously, that I'm not talking to you. But for the larger population, for, like I said, literally the remaining 99%, a lot of us, and for most of us, it's a journey, right? And I'm sure you'd have recognized by now whether you are a um, whether you are educated or not, whether you are from a well-to-do family, or whether you're from a family of limited means, of maybe not as much money, it doesn't really matter. What's important is that you have chosen to be on this journey. And as I said, as long as you intend to keep doing this work, as long as you intend for people to keep showing up, it is going to be a journey. And along that path, it is so important. I still remember many, many years ago. Um, Unfortunately, I can't remember exactly who mentioned this, but one thing I can definitely tell you is that, I remember hearing this, that really become a student of the craft. Meaning, if you do, and if you're at this point in your life where you recognize that marketing, sales, having leads, having funnels, like these are all words, if they're like starting to become familiar to you, and maybe if it's something that you do not enjoy, then please take note, because I can tell you this, as I said, my journey began in 2016, especially in the context of, learning marketing, being a student of marketing. Um, After literally 8, 9 years now, the journey is never over. And along the way, there will be moments where things work. There will be a lot of moments where things do not work. Whether you're doing this as a paid activity, whether you're doing this as what we call the organic activity, which means you're doing it on your own steam. You're not, let's say, doing or investing money in Facebook ads or other channels. However it be, just remember that make sure that you continue to be a student. And by that, I mean you continue to observe, you continue to make and do your experiments. Because ultimately, in spite of what most well meaning coaches will tell you, ultimately it is only when you are willing to to let your intuition, to let your spirit, your soul guide you. And you know what I mean, because if you are, like me, a healer coach, then you already, as they say, you already march to a different beat, right? As a friend of mine likes to say, you know that you are a contrarian. You know that you're not your run of the mill, regular kind of coach, or or healer for that matter. You know that you're different, and part of that equation is making sure that you are always checking in with yourself. And especially now, as I've started to turn my attention once again more towards the the marketing side of the business. For those of you, of course, who've been keeping track, you know that last year we focused a lot on building the product. We did the practitioner program. There was a level 1. We created a level 2. We've run it a couple of times. So we know that for people who are in the practitioner program, for people who have completed the practitioner program, this is a solid program. We know that their experiences, their results speak for it. And I'm not just talking about surface level gains, but like really deep rooted, deep seated shifts and transformation that they have experienced. Now comes the second part, which is Marketing 101, which is all about finding out how do you put it across to people where it becomes relevant to them, where it becomes about them, right? So if you're out there, and for me, my tribe is, of course, healer coaches, people who are healers and coaches. So, if you're in that space of your life where you're wondering, how do you make that shift? As I said, I've been doing this now for a while, and my intention is, of course, to be able to teach you what I know, as a way for you to be able to change your identity, to change the way you think about yourself, to the point where you're able to understand that you have multiple facets to you, and you know eventually you will follow your own calling, your own voice. So I can definitely say that over the years, there have been a lot of experiments, and I know our experiments are only going to get more fascinating, more interesting. And the I'm looking forward to this year as being the year of R&D, the year of research into what is it that our brand resonates with, and what is it that can take our brand to more and more people. People who are within the community of obviously swear by it. People who are our regulars, people who keep showing up, they know that this is the real deal. They know that when it comes to the power of your unconscious mind, the power of your truly the power of your mind, this is definitely a space to keep coming back, to keep refreshing, to keep refueling. And of course, having a community that supports you on your journey as a healer coach, this is something that they know is a space for them. What we are now looking to do is to reach out to more and more people out there who are like us, who are looking for what we, what we relate to, what we are literally putting out into the world. And in that, as I said, this is the first of many experiments. And one thing I can definitely tell you, and that's what actually inspired today's pod, which is everything to do with the power of learning and the power of studying. And it's a lot more fun today to to attend webinars and to watch all the moving parts come together. And I know that over the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks and months, of course, there will be updates that keep happening. And I'm also looking forward to sharing some of the experiments and the ahas that have come along with it. So if you're somebody, especially if you're a healer coach, you're on this journey, and you're looking out for kindred spirit who can be with you on this journey, because I can tell you, having been on this journey now closer to 2 decades, the first half of the journey a lot of times was quite it was quite lonely, because the concept of community did not exist. um, Thankfully, in these last several years, community is something that has started to become more relevant. And I know that community is a really, really powerful way for you I was going to say to stay hydrated, but it's truly that, it's like if you're looking for that juice, for that energy to keep coming back, keep refueling and going out into the world and doing what you know that you're meant to do, then this community is here to serve you. This community is here to hold that space for you. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. If there's any way in which I can help you, please do reach out and let me know. And of course, having said all of that, remember to live your purpose. And one last thing, this is, of course, a PSA for those of you who are in our community. We, as promised, are starting one more meet and greet, which will be happening on Wednesdays uh, at 8 p.m. This is especially for those of you who are new to the community. If you have joined us and maybe you've not been able to make it to our Monday, Friday sessions, which is the iHypnosis Live experiences, where we meet live and you get to experience the power of your unconscious mind. um, Wednesdays is designed as an orientation. So this is a way for you to meet members, both new and, of course, members who have been around now for a while. So come join us, and it's a great way to connect. And I definitely look forward to hearing your stories and what got you interested in joining us. And this is also a way for you to understand what are the various programs that are available for you to be able to access. So there's a lot more coming, and as they say, and just to remind you, it's like watch the space. So many more updates coming. And as I said, it's just perfect timing that we are literally on episode number 499, especially for our YouTube podcast channel. I know on Facebook we have been uploading multitudes or and multiple videos ever since 2022. Um, so I'm really looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to future uploads. So for those of you who've been, on this journey, thank you once again. It's your energy that fuels me to keep coming back and recording these podcasts every single day. So having said all of that, of course, as always, remember to live your purpose. God bless, and of course, I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.